Hey everyone, this is Josh with SKAA, and today we're at Honeymoon Island Beach in beautiful Dunedin, Florida to test out the wireless range of some of our SKAA-enabled transmitters. SKAA-enabled speakers and transmitters are simply the best option for portable wireless music for beach days and any other outdoor activities. Not just for high-quality wireless audio, but also their signal strength and range. Today we're going to test out the range of the SKAA DIS transmitter, which is for iPhones and other iOS devices, the Wet Sounds A-Link unit, which is both a transmitter and receiver, as well as the Ryobi Score speakers. First, let's test out the DIS transmitter for iOS devices. DIS has 7 dBm of RF output power, and for our receiver, we're going to use a Ryobi Score speaker. For all three of these tests, I'm going to have Chelsea walk off with the speaker until the music cuts off, and then we'll measure that distance.
It stopped.
So it looks like the DIS transmitter made it out to here. Let's tack this down and we'll measure it back to the transmitter. So DIS is just shy of 56 feet. I'll call this an even 55 because of the slack on the line. Next, let's test out the Wet Sounds A-Link unit, which has 17 dBm of RF output power when in transmit mode. Once again, we're going to use a Ryobi Score speaker as our receiver. All right, so Wet Sounds made it out to here. Let's stake this one down too, and we'll measure it back to the transmitter. So it looks like Wet Sounds is a little over 181 feet. I'll round this down to an even 181 for slack on the line. Lastly, let's test out the range of a pair of Ryobi Score speakers. Like with the Wet Sounds unit, the primary also has 17 dBm of RF output power. For this, we're going to use the primary as our transmitter and the secondary speaker as our receiver.
It caught.
All right, so it looks like the speaker started to cut out about here. Once again, I'll stake down the long tape and measure back to the transmitter, the Score primary speaker. So it looks like we're right at 151 feet. All right, so let's recap our range test here and throw a few more measurements in as well. The DIS transmitter in my iPhone sending audio out to the Score primary speaker went about 55 feet with 7 dBm of RF output power. The Wet Sounds A-Link unit sending audio out to the Score primary speaker went 181 feet, and the Ryobi Score primary as a transmitter went 151 feet. As I mentioned before, the latter two transmitters both have 17 dBm of RF output power, which is why the range on these is much greater. Also keep in mind that these are just 3 sample measurements. You may end up with different results depending on the height and orientation of the transmitter and receiver. For all of these examples, the transmitters were about 2.5 feet off the ground. Off camera, we did one additional sample measurement for each at a different outdoor location and ended up with some different results. The DIS transmitter ended up cutting out at 89 feet, so it went further than the first measurement. The Wet Sounds didn't go quite as far and cut out at 157 feet, and the Score speakers went a lot further at 197 feet. So the location you're at and the amount of RF interference at that location can vary the results as well. We also did an additional test off camera with 2 Wet Sounds A-Link units, one as a transmitter and one as a receiver. For this test, the A-Link unit cut out at 134 feet. Regardless of the varying results, we got great wireless range from all of these examples every single time. So again, this is perfect for the beach or other outdoor settings. SKAA transmitters are available at skaastore.com. The Wet Sounds A-Link units are available at wetsounds.com. The Ryobi Score speakers are available at the Home Depot. SKAA. Share audio anywhere.